Hello guys, welcome to episode 5 of my England under-20s experiment. It's me, Bad Jokes FM, back at you once again with another video. As you can see, it's the 3rd of June 2024, so we're quite a way into this experiment now. If you haven't seen the other videos, go back and check them out. But the basic gist of this series is that I've put all the England under-20 players from this summer's World Cup into one squad, give that team a 10-year transfer embargo and see how they get on. And so far, it's not been a very good story for Stoke. They've got relegated out of the Premier League, out of the Championship, out of League One, got themselves back out of League One, League Two even, last season. But this season just completed. They've been relegated again. So we're going to skip through the season where they're back in League Two, see if they can get themselves promoted again. And then I'm going to end the series with the last season there, see where they are, if they can get themselves out of League One or out of League Two, whatever league they may be in. So let's go and skip ahead that year and see how they got on. Alright guys, we are back. It's the end of the 24-25 season. Let's see how Stoke have got on in the league. You can just see there, they've finished 20th in the table, down in League 2. Very disappointing season for them. They only spent 1 year in League 2 previously, so they must have had a very poor year this year to only just survive relegation by 8 points. So they were safe-ish, but you would have expected them to be quite a bit higher. Let's go and have a look at the transfers, see who's come in and out, and then we'll look at the schedule. Well, they've brought nobody in, obviously, because this is one of the last years of the embargo. But as far as people leaving, Nicholas Jääskeläinen, he's been kind of Stoke's star player for the past couple of years. He's gone to Tours FC over in France for a decent sum of money, 600k. Decent little deal for them. Bill Brighton, I think he's just another regen. Yeah, 20 years old. He's gone to Partick Thistle. He looks a bit decent for a Scottish league team. He's brave. He's got decent teamwork, a decent work rate, but technicals aren't the best, so you can see why he's been allowed to go. And as far as people leaving the club, nobody else there I think you'll really notice. Chris Murphy's gone to Bolton, 17-year-old regen. He looks decent for a 17-year-old. I'm not surprised Bolton have picked him up. I think with the right coaching, he could become something quite decent. And the next one is Atakan Arslan. He's again somebody who I think I've mentioned a few times in this series. He's gone and joined Dirty Millwall. But he again looks okay. For a team like Millwall, Championship League 1, sort of yo-yoing team, I think he'll fit in quite well there. And so let's go and have a look at the schedule, and then we'll go have a look at see who's done well as far as ratings and all that fun stuff. So just get rid of all everything that's not League 2. And there you go. They started off the season okay. 2-0 win against Yeovil. But then they lost to Barnet 3-0 and an awful result away. And then they sort of went win-loss, 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 didn't they? Well, you see there, they beat Bury 2-1. But then they went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games without even picking up a point. That's where the problems have laid. And then they've got Mansfield. They've beaten them 1-0. But then again, they've gone 4 games without a point. And again, they seem to be going on these runs. As soon as they lose 1 game, they lose the next 3 or 4. And yeah, a decent run there. Bury, Morecambe, Eastleigh all defeated. Might have given them a little bit of hope. But following that up, Carlisle and Wimbledon and Mansfield all beat them. And then Hartlepool and Notts County beat them. But then they got themselves safe right at the end of the season with that decent run there. Beating Macclesfield, drawing with Fleetwood, drawing with York, beating Portsmouth, which is quite a surprising result. I think Portsmouth have gone up again, if I'm not wrong. Now they're in the playoffs. And then they've lost to Fleetwood on the last day, but they was already safe by then. So decent-ish end to the season. Might give them a little bit of hope going forward. Let's see how they got on in the Cups. FA Cup, get rid of League 2. They lost to my old team, Gillingham. Gillingham beat them in the first round, 2-1 away from home for Stoke. And then in the EFL Cup, how have they got on in that? They've lost to Chesterfield 3-0 again. Another shocking result there. What about the old checker trade nonsense? Middlesbrough under 23s, lost to them, lost to York, lost to Chesterfield. Not had a very good time against Chesterfield this year, have they, lads? And so, let's go and have a look at the old schedule. Not the schedule. Have a look at what players have done what as far as the ratings go this year. Their best rated player is the keeper, Dean Henderson. 46 appearances, average rating of 6.79. That's where the problem is. That's very average to be having for your best player. I'd be quite disappointed. And I'm quite surprised he's still there, to be honest. I think he's been there since the start. Yeah, he has. And he's just grown and grown into the team as they've got to like League 1, League 2 level. So he might stay for a little bit, but with stats like that, I could maybe see another League 1 team picking him up. Maybe not. And the next couple is Josh Wilson, only played 5 games. Again, their goalie picking up their best ratings. That is shocking. That's obviously showing how much defending the team are having to do because they're under pressure. And so the next one is Dave Gibbons, a right back, 22 years old, brave, decent teamwork, decent marking, but that's all you can say for his technicals. Only valued at 24k, so a bit disappointing. Kyle Pickett, 6.36, which for your 4th best player, you should not be getting anywhere near that. Again, he looks okay, not brilliant. Doesn't really look like the youth is starting to come through. If we just have a look at the under 18 squad, they've got, let's do this by value. Their highest valued player in the under 18s is only 9k. Owen O'Hare, who's English, 16 years old. Nothing at all there to write home about. The youth policy that I was hoping that was going to come through obviously is not. Let's have a look at the under 23s. Their highest valued one is Scott Brown, 23,000. Striker, 11 finishing. Decisions decent, teamwork's decent. He might be okay for lower leagues coming forward. But again, nothing exciting. I think all these relegations really have taken a toll on the hopes of developing young players. I think that's where I'm going to leave it for this season, lads. I'm going to skip forward another year. So we'll see if Stoke stay in League 2, if they either get themselves promoted or if they even fall out of the leagues. What an end to the series that would be. So I'll be back with you guys with that in a second. Hello guys, this is it. The last season in this experiment. It's the end of the 25-26 season. We are 10 years in from the start. The transfer embargo has just been lifted, I believe, from the club, if I set it up correctly. Oh, another month. They're a month out of the transfer embargo. Let's see how they've got on in the league before they can start buying players again. And you may have just spotted it up there. They have actually finished 21st in the table. One worse than last year. Shocking result this. They've survived this time by 9 points, but they've not managed to finish any higher in the table. And a few shocking teams in and around here, I think you could say. Peterborough, Kev ain't going to be happy. Sorry Kev, but according to FM, 10 years in the future, Posh are back in League 2. Get used to that. And Portsmouth have finally got themselves back out of League 2. But as far as Stoke, 9 points have separated them from relegation. So let's go and have a look at their schedule, see how they got on. And just go for just the cups. And so in the FA Cup, they lost in the first round to Bradford City away, 2-0. Another disappointing result in the cup. Let's see about the EFL Cup. Again, lost to Barnsley, 2-0. They just don't seem to do well in the cup, this young team, do they? They just can't seem to get their head round the one-off style. And then in a checker trade nonsense, I see a bit of green. I'm shocked. They lost 2-0 to a Chelsea under-23 team, but you can't blame them when you've got Nabil Bentaleb, who's a bit decent, isn't he? 31 years old playing against this team. And you've got Yuri Tillmans. Everyone knows about Tillmans. and him playing against this team should be illegal. Quite surprised Chelsea only scored 2, to be honest. They must have been taking it easy. And Burton they actually beat, so they finally won a game in a cup, but it's still not enough to see them through as they lose to Plymouth as well. So now let's go and have a look at what kind of run they've had in the league. And you can see there again, they've started off awfully. They've won the first game against Morecambe, but then they've gone 4 games without a point. But then they've had a bit of a revival there. 2-1 against Notts County, decent win. 1-1 against Kev's Posh. And then Hartlepool and Oldham, again, 3 1-1 draws in a row. You could not get decent odds on that, could you? And then Crewe, they've lost 2. Barnet, they've lost 2 as well. Then again, another little mini revival there. 3 wins on the bounce. All the same score again. 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. You get decent money for that. And then, but here's where the problem is. Wow. End of the year, they have gone, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games without a win. That is why they've been in problems all year. But they followed that up with a result against Mansfield, and then they got a draw against Portsmouth, which is quite surprising considering how poorly they've been doing. And then Hartlepool, they've drew 1-1. Barnet and Burton, they've beaten both of them, and Shrewsbury. And so it's the end of the season again where they seem to be picking up points, but it's just too little, too late, and they just never can seem to capitalise on it. So let's just see about any transfers. Has there been any big money deals in this summer? And nope, just 2 people leaving on frees. Kieran Dow, who's actually got a real face. I think he's been there since the start. And yeah, he has, but he's finally left him on a free to join Walsall in League One. And he looks decent. I'm surprised he hung around as long as he did. I expect him to do alright for Walsall. And then Ezri Konza, he's another one who's been there since the start. Again, looks decent. Hasn't been ruined too much by all these problems and all these relegations. But hopefully he can turn his career around now. And if we just have a look at the under-18 squad, see if anyone else has come through that looks decent. No, again, the highest valued player, 7.25k, Stuart Rayner, 19 years old with a really weird haircut. Do not like that at all. And, well, I like his stats a lot less, to be honest. Look at all that white. Wow. If there's any more white there, I'd be calling him Jimmy. Christ, that is terrible. And so let's go have a look at the under-23s. See if there's anyone decent there. Scott Brown, is he a dirty Scottishman? No, he's not. He's 18 years old. English, looks okay, looks decent, but nothing special. Their youth policy really hasn't worked. And so, let's have a look at the main squad, see who they've got as their highest rated player this year. And it's Sam Livesey, the defensive midfielder, 23 years old, decent passing, decent his first touch, he's aggressive, got decent his decisions, so he knows when to be angry and when not to be apparently. Decent fitness, but he cannot run for anything. No wonder he's a defensive midfielder. I hope he's just sitting there and not moving further than 10 yards in 10 minutes. Because that is awful physicals. So who else have we got? Mark Bullock, a striker, scored 13 goals this year, 24 years old, decent finishing, decent heading, aggression, anticipation, jumping, reach and strength. He could be a lower league Andy Carroll. Can we see how tall he is? Yeah, 6'1". They've got to be using him as a target man, surely. He might be a little bit of hope for the future for this team. But Randolph Oscar, 23 years old, Dominican, 11 dribbling, good leadership. He looks alright. Maybe if he was to carry on this experiment, they might recover, but it's not looking like it. I think Stoke fans will have to get used to being stuck in League 2 for a while. And that's where I'm going to leave it for this series, for this experiment. And if you've enjoyed the video, if you've enjoyed the series, please give me a thumbs up down below. There are going to be more experiments like this. I'm going to try and get one out for next Friday. See what I can come up with. Haven't got any ideas yet. So if you guys have any ideas for experiments you would like to see, please hit me up in the comment section down below, or hit me up on Twitter at BadJokesFM. Give me a follow. Every follow is appreciated. And also, please subscribe to the channel. Go watch my Journeyman save. It's getting really interesting at the minute now. 7 seasons in, and I'm in Germany. That's all I'll say. So you can go and watch all of it. I'm almost at 100 videos now. I think it's going to be 2 weeks yesterday. I'm going to hit 100 videos, and I'm also almost at 100 subscribers. I'm at 90 as I'm recording this. So all the subscribers I can get, the better. And also keep your eye out for some really exciting stuff on the channel and in a few other places. I've got something really cool I'm recording tomorrow. Keep your eyes peeled for that. That is going to be really cool. And as for now, that's all I've got to say is I am Bad Jokes FM. I am out.